goodness. Technologies. Apologies, Rashid. It's so good to have you in joining me in the studio. And I'm like, it's taken like 10 minutes to sort this out. But anyway, so welcome. Really good to have you online. Before I formally introduce you, I'd like to just take a moment to share my screen and give context to how this conversation started and where we're up to. I began a couple of weeks ago talking about the 3 pillars of leadership, beginning with enrollment or engagement, where we ask the question and we get to really understand who is it that we're working with, and particularly as a business leader or a CEO is really understanding our team, who we're working with, but also what do they want in terms of goal setting. So that's the first pillar. The second pillar is then moving into motivation and looking at what are the strategies and tactics that we're going to engage in to help motivate our teams, and really then consider as well, are there any behavior interventions that we need to look at? Are there limiting beliefs that are holding our team back from being motivated? And then it's motivation plus accountability that's going to get us results. And first of all, there's self-management or task management. So it's about doing all the activities that we're committed to. But my whole conversation really sits in this integrity game piece. So it sits in this land of accountability. And I started the conversation talking about, if we're going to be able to withstand the pressures that come our way, then it's about playing the game of integrity and building that resilience to be able to withstand the pressures, that things that come along. And we don't want to get blindsided. We want to be able to manage all of that in a really constructive way. And this whole conversation starts with playing the integrity game. And the very first question that we ask ourselves is our why, our purpose. What is the meaning of who we are? But from a business context, what is the meaning of our business? Why did we get started? So, Rashid, that just very quickly gives context to where this conversation started. And I'm delighted to have you here. I'm Sue Mathieson, Certified Integrity Game Coach and Mentor. And Rashid, you are the CEO and founder of Evacovation. So over to you for a moment. Tell us about this. What is this business? What do you do? And how did you get into it?
First of all, thank you so much for having me in your show. And I love the concept of having that integrity framework to start with, because that's how everything started for me as well. I'm Rashid Khan, founder and CEO of Evacovation. And my core business is emergency management. You're studying global disasters, creating strategies for evacuation, creating strategies and frameworks for emergency management. So when you really need those documents, when you really need to have the practice behind emergency management, that's already been done for you guys. We also develop applications in relation to emergency management communication. And as we were starting this conversation, the thing that happened before that was the drop of communication. As we're trying to interconnect with each other, we're trying to interconnect with technology, we're trying to interconnect with different social medias, and the communication stops. Thinking of this, if that thing stops in an emergency, that can pose a threat to real life.
Yeah.
That's where evacuation comes into play. We try to minimize that gap between the people who are effective within an emergency and the people who are making those decisions. To closing that gap in emergency is the key for us. So wherever we can save a couple of seconds to make those real time data into an information and into the decision making body, we can save someone's life.
Yeah.
That's the whole
Yeah.
purpose of evacuation.
Yeah. Yeah. So